Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. I'm gonna apologize up front. I'm constantly touching my eye because I don't know, something got in it, and I mean I cannot get it out. I don't know what it is, but I've been dealing with it all day. Anyway, we finally got our White Dwarf in 464, and I figured I would go ahead and we'll open this up and share it with you guys. Artwork looks pretty awesome, but as you can see, damage never fails, and as you saw it is how it came in the in the mailbox. Man, that really stinks. I will most likely be telling them they need to send me another one because I collect these, so and you're paying $90 at least. Anyway, let's get out of negativity and get on to this good stuff here. All right, so insert fun stuff here. If you picked up a previous issue of White Dwarf, you may have noticed it included tear-out insert nestled between its pages. On the insert is a pair of War Scroll cards of a couple of greater demon characters generated from that issue's Anvil of Chaos article. You can cut the cards out, so on and so on. So I guess they're saying somewhere in here, yep, we've got some cards here. I don't really play Age of Sigmar, but this looks like 40K. Okay, yeah, it's definitely 40K. So maybe they're swapping it up or something like that. Anyway, we'll get to that. So I guess they're going to be putting tear-out sheets in. Alright, so what do we got here? We've got letters, painting advice, and beautifully painted miniatures. A tome keeper, colorful conversions, and penguins. Penguins. Okay. World of Warhammer. Tale of Four Warlords. Looks like a battle report, I guess. Flashpoint. Caradon or Caradon Warzone. I'm assuming these are stories. Sounds like it. Index Hereticus, The Fallen. Did you betray the Dark Angel, or did they betray the Dark Angels? Yes, they totally did. A new Index Hereticus for The Fallen, complete with new rules. Well, we're going to find out about that because everything I know about it says otherwise. To show you how to convert Fallen out of existing plastic kits. A gallery of Fallen painted by studio hobbyists and an interrogator chaplain to hunt them down. 2 stage-by-stage guides for painting the Fallen. Classic contrast style for black-clad heretics. Golden Demon Winners Challenge. Faith Under Fire. Of course, they spelled demon the American English way this time. Instead of D-A-E, they've got D-E-M-O-N. Just little things that I figure out. Maybe they figured it was easier. Battle report over here. The bell tolls for thee. Rules of engagement. Jervis updates a classic battle plan. The battle for Gore Pass from the 1985 supplement Bloodbath at Orc's Drift. Anvil of Blood. This is Sigmar. Queen's Audience. Queen of Vampires seeks to uncover the Dark Master's plans in a short story. Realms of Chaos, The Horned Rat. Excuse me, it says much modeling and painting advice for the ever-scheming Skaven. That's my favorite fantasy army anyway, so that's cool. Heroes of the Cursed City. So this is introducing the 8 heroes of Warhammer Quest Cursed City, which obviously is, you can't get it. But regardless, my understanding is this was done before all of that debacle with the Cursed City game being unavailable and whatnot. So some Black Library stuff. And it says we talked about inside the studio. We talk about some of the models we painted in the games we played over the last month. So what do we got here? We got Contact. This looks like some. They look like custodes to me. Some kind of custodes maybe. And here it is: Adeptus Custodes, Alaris Custodians. So maybe they're in like some kind of Terminator armor. For them, I like the color scheme of the purple and the gold. Or the purple inlaid in the gold. That looks pretty nice. What do we got over here? Zinch Demons looks like. And some Night Goblins. Alien Interlopers. Hive Fleet Kraken. Let's see here. It's like some squigs. And this is either a lieutenant or a captain. I don't remember. Let me see if I can turn this light down for you guys a little bit and see if that changes things for us. It might be better. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Mortarian, but this looks like the Forge World model back when he was an actual Primarch. I can't really tell in it, but it almost looks like his face is kind of zombified in there, but I don't know. Conversion Corner Junk Force. Calling this the Junk Force. The story behind Mike's force is that they were once workers on a food processing world who found an STC for old Terran junk food. As punishment for not handling over the STC, they were sentenced to a lifetime of service in a penal force. Their leader, the well-titled Maxwell Von Nuggets, is the chap below, converted from Janus Drake. I'm assuming it's this guy right here. Mike paints his models using a Corax white undercoat. The fatigues are a mix of Abaddon or Abaddon black and Stegodon scale green, while the orange armor is Troll Slayer orange, highlighted with Fire Dragon bright and white. This is funny. I don't know if you guys can make this out, but there's literally a plucked chicken hanging from this guardsman's belt here. That's pretty awesome. I'm assuming that was green stuff. Being able to make that, because that's really awesome. It looks great. Let's see here. We got some Necron Immortal. Looks like some Night Goblins, Shaman, Cave Shaman, Primaris Captain, the Light of Eltharion. I don't know, maybe a High Elf or something, I guess. And Grotech Gurnison. Model of the Month, Legio, Custodes, Contemptor, Galatus Dreadnought. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Looks like nothing. World to Warhammer. World to Warhammer delves into the background of the Age of Sigmar and the 41st millennium, looking at how stories are created and legends are born. This issue, Phil Kelly discusses global campaigns and how they've shaped the Warhammer universe. I vaguely remember this one, but I mean, it's been so long ago. Icar 4, where it all began. Armageddon 3. This time it's personal. That might be what it is Armageddon there. Maybe, I don't know. I think so. Albion, A Green and Unpleasant Land. I have this somewhere, this Dark Shadows supplement. Codex Eye of Terror, still have that. And here we are. Looks like we're into the Fallen. CYPHER, a bunch of black-clad Dark Angels in red robes and white robes. The only issue we got here is we got Chaos Cultists. So I'm not exactly sure how they work out there. A Tale of Four Warlords. Space Marines, Necrons, Sisters of Battle, and Orcs. The Ongoing Crusades. What we got here? We've got... Are these Sons of Medusa? Who is this? Yeah, Sons of Medusa. While squads Corian and Drac wear desert camouflage. Okay. So I guess they're kind of trying to fashion it after the old color scheme in a way, but what they've done is they've used the chocolate chip desert camouflage pattern here, just not so much of the black inside. The Thocht Dynasty. So these Necrons look really nice. Of course, the characters are kind of blue-green, or cyan, or cayenne, however you say it. I think it's cyan. They look pretty nice. Of course, the warriors are still kind of pretty much just silver or gunmetal, whatever. But Order of the Argent Shroud. Looks like they're mostly a gunmetal style armor. The Goths. Looks like 50 power mark. 50 power, huh? Yeah, everything's 50 power that we're showing here. The Metallican system. So I believe this is Death Guard or Plague Marines going after Adeptus Mechanicus, maybe. All of this is story. Replicator's Canyon. Nowhere is safe in the vehicular graveyard known as Replicator's Canyon. In this short story by Callum Davis, patrols of guardsmen hunt for heretics, and more importantly, a way through the burned out hulks of thousands of ruined battle tanks. War comes to Metallica. Yeah, definitely Death Guard versus Adeptus Mechanicus, or whatever the heck they're called now. I can never remember. Everything seems to change. Looks like we've got some rules for battles. Index Hereticus. Okay, so this is what we really wanted to get to. Consumed by bitterness and driven by millennia of hatred, the Fallen wage war against the Imperium of mankind. Once loyal warriors of the Dark Angels Legion, these heretic Astartes are a dark stain on the honor of their parent chapter, one that cannot be easily erased. The Fallen, the Betrayers, the Unrepentant, by James Ashby and Duncan Waugh, or Wow, W-A-U-G-H. So I apologize if I got it wrong. I'm sure we'll be okay to read some of this. Of all the ancient traders at large in the galaxy, few are as mysterious and multifarious as those known as the Fallen. Once loyal warriors of the Dark Angels, their betrayal became the secret shame of that chapter and their successors. A shame so great that its very existence is withheld from all but the most trusted sons of the Lion. To these initiated few, the hunt for the Fallen is a mission of paramount importance, and they will never rest until every one of their hated quarry meets their doom, whether on the battlefield or in the dungeons of the Interrogator Chaplains. The story of the Fallen Angels began on Caliban, the now lost homeworld of Dark Angels. At the outset of the Great Crusade, the Emperor's grand campaign for dominance of the galaxy, Lionel Johnson led his Dark Angels Legion into the void, accompanied by his second-in-command and close friend Luther. After the initial campaigning, however, Luther was sent back to Caliban to supervise the induction of new recruits to the Legion. Some chapter legends attributing this to a breakdown in relations with the Lion. Critical though this mission was, it was ill-suited to Luther's ambitious personality. To him, his homecoming felt like a dismissal, and as the years wore on, the whispers of the Dark God stirred the growing resentment within him. Then came the tragic events of the Horus Heresy, and after the Dark Angels reached Terra, too late to combat the War Master's last cataclysmic assault, L. Johnson turned his legion homeward. On Caliban, a final shattering treachery awaited the embattled Dark Angels. As the Lion's fleet entered orbit, a devastating laser barrage erupted from the planet's surface. Luther's hatred had festered and spread, poisoning the minds of the veterans and new recruits alike. With a heavy heart, L. Johnson realized he had been betrayed, and he ordered a massive bombardment of the great fortresses he had once thought loyal. While apocalyptic fires raged and Caliban's ancient keeps cracked and crumbled, the Primarch led a surface assault that brought him face to face with Luther. Infused with the dark might of chaos, Luther was more than a match for his former friend, and when the Lion hesitated his chance to deliver a death blow, Luther struck back with a furious psychic attack that mortally wounded the Primarch. Only with the Lion kneeling broken before him, with Caliban itself nearing annihilation, did Luther realize the magnitude of his deeds. Tumbling into madness, he let out a psychic cry so anguished that a warp storm erupted around the Dark Angels, already weak in homeworld, sealing the planet's destruction and hurling the fallen Dark Angels who had served Luther into the warp, scattering them across time and space. Amidst the ruins, the surviving loyalist Dark Angels found no trace of their Gene Father. Instead, they found only the traitor Luther, who gibbered of watchers in the dark, and the forgiveness the Lion would one day return. To bestow upon him. So began Luther's secret imprisonment and the Dark Angels' long road to renewal and retribution. To survive and rebuild in the aftermath of the Horus Heresy, the Masters of the Dark Angels swore their already insular brotherhood to complete secrecy and formed a still more impenetrable conclave, the Inner Circle. Tasked with safeguarding the most dangerous fragments of their history, none outside the Legion could learn the events on Caliban, of Luther's betrayal, or of the fratricide that resulted. As generations passed and these secrets fell from living memory, they became guarded by a far smaller cadre of initiated elites. Most Dark Angels warriors now fight with no real understanding of the chapter's stained past, and only when made Deathwing veterans are they granted their first encounters with the details resembling the fact rather than fable. I have one problem with this part right here. For Imperial records, what happened to Caliban? Just all of a sudden we've got a planet that's just missing. How does that work? Is everybody tracking with that? Okay. Perhaps the bitterest? Okay. Perhaps the bitterest of these revelations to accept is that many of the fallen survived the death of Caliban. Since this fact first came to the knowledge of the Dark Angels, who initially believed the fallen had perished with their homeworld, it has evoked both horror and hope. Horror because any one of the fallen could speak to outsiders of the treachery that ripped the First Legion apart. Hope because with the hunting down and slaying of the last fallen angel, the Sons of the Lion might finally know absolution. Until that day, those privy to the fallen's existence will refer to themselves and their brethren as the unforgiven. The hunt for the fallen is a monumental task, however, not only due to the martial prowess and guile of those hunted, but also because of the wide variety of trajectories they have taken. While some have succumbed to the ruinous powers utterly, becoming heretic Astartes, and waging pitiless war upon the Imperium they once served, others look upon their past with disgust. Whether these forlorn individuals seek atonement by reintegrating with Imperial societies or roam the void as masterless pirates, their true identity can evade the unforgiven for centuries. Most dreaded of all are those the dark gods cruelly cast adrift in time, some of whom are only now returning to real space, their sanity in tatters. These lost souls are a terrible blight wherever they appear, and they are a threat to expose at any moment the secrets guarded so fiercely by the Inner Circle. Whatever guises they now take, the fallen are united in their determination to avoid capture. Though some may seek redemption, it is only on their own terms, and to fall into the hands of the interrogator chaplains of the unforgiven is an unthinkable fate they will fight desperately to avoid. So, it's basically giving us a bunch of basically just giving us some more background to the Fallen a little bit. Some of this, though, if you've been around the hobby for a while, you've heard all of this before, so I'm not really seeing anything new here. CYPHER. The enigmatic fallen angel known as CYPHER is hated and feared more than any other quarry of the Dark Angels. Through the millennia, he has appeared seemingly at random on battlefields across the galaxy, his ancient armor draped with flowing robes and his blazing pistols rarely missing their mark. Deadly in battle though he is, CYPHER's arrival brings far greater dangers than his tally of kills. Though none can say why or how his continued presence in one place seems to attract others of the fallen. Some postulate that he is the lord of a huge cabal assembled over centuries, whose agents are so widely embedded that he is always able to stay a step ahead of the unforgiven. Others whisper that his appearances are not random at all, but that he is acting out of a shadowy master plan, perhaps one destined for terror itself, that will finally redeem the fallen in ways impossible to guess. Whether guided by some higher providence or his own unfailing instincts, CYPHER's ability to escape the consequences of his disruptive deeds is legendary. Before the smoke and mayhem subsides, he always mysteriously disappears, leaving his enemies with no clues as to his objectives or where he will strike again. Specialist Detachment, Fallen Angels. So looks like you got to take this as a specialist detachment. Says if your army is battle forged, you have access to specialist detachment stratagems. A specialist detachment stratagem is a unique type of stratagem used when choosing your army. The stratagem will assign a specialist detachment keyword. Okay. Fallen Angels is a specialist detachment. Well, I mean, this gets, a little complicated. This is why I'm not going to say the vast majority of 40K players, but what I'm learning lately through reading, other videos, things like that, is that essentially people are playing earlier versions. And early in my videos, like when I first started the channel, I talked about how I felt that a lot of the things that I was reading about and learning about 9th edition were similar to 3rd edition. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like they just took from 3rd edition. And now I'm starting to see that other people are starting to agree, with that premise. I mean, not necessarily agreeing with me, but they're echoing the same thing that I'm saying. And where I would go with this, I mean, obviously you have open play. You can do whatever the heck you want to. But what I would say is, if it were me, depending on what what it is that they give us here, I'll be honest with you, man, I would straight up I'd play these guys as just Space Marines. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't see why they would be any different. And it looks like, judging from these pictures here, that's kind of what has happened here. I don't know that for certain, but that's kind of what it looks like has happened here. Let me go back, because it looks like we're already through their thing. So we've got CYPHER. If CYPHER's included in a Fallen Angel specialist attachment, he gains the following ability: Agent of Discord. While an enemy unit is within Discord range of this model, that unit and any models it contains cannot make use of any abilities, warlord traits, or relics that allow your opponent to receive or be refunded command points. The key thing here is enemy unit. While this model is within 12 inches of less than 10 other Fallen Angels models, this ability has a Discord range of 12 inches. 10 to 19, the ability has a Discord range of 18, and 20 or more, 24. So 20 or more Fallen Angels models. So am I to understand that you can have a 20-man squad? Maybe they just mean 20 models, period. Okay, that's probably what that means. So you could have two 10-man squads, and if he's within, hold on, let me see here. Yeah, if he's within 12 inches of, say, a 20-man squad, his Discord range is 24 inches. Nice. Okay. What I'm not seeing I'm not seeing is their loadout. I don't know if we're missing it or what the heck's going on here. Converting the Fallen. This looks like they're using some of the 30K models along with this has got to be a Primaris model. Has to be. Looks like a Primaris Chaplain to me. It looks like to me too on this Rhino here, this is a more modern Rhino body, but on the front they've done panels like the old one. Now this could be, yeah, it is. It says it's from Forge World, so this is an actual model. Okay. I like when my suspicions are confirmed. Okay, painting the Fallen. Let's see here. Alright, well I guess that's it. What I'm not finding is anything on their war gear. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that shows like their actual war gear, but when you look at the painted models back here, they've got everything from multi-melta to bolters to melt-a-gun. Yeah, you know. So I guess I don't know, man. I mean, that's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. It's actually really disappointing. All right, Faith Under Fire. Looks like we've got some painting competition type stuff going on here. Here's those cards, you know, punch out cards or cut out cards. Don't know that I would ever use them, but you never know. Last Charge of Sister Melissa. It's pretty good. Yeah, so all of this is Golden Demon painting. Harlequins versus a Sister of Battle. I hate to say it, but 3 Harlequins. There's no way she's going to win that. Not in game terms, anyway. I don't care how strong her faith in the Emperor is. I'm kidding. We got a Word Bearer here. Looks like fighting a Sister Repentia and a Sister of Battle. Bell tolls for thee. Nightmare Legion. Looks pretty hordish. Not that that's a bad thing. I really like the bats. The bats look cool, and I'm not sure about this vampire queen or whatever. She got two armed wings, two legs with feet, and then it looks like she might have 2 other arms up here. The Numinous Host. This looks like High Elves kind of thing. I think I like the gold with the white and red now better than the blue and white that they typically have. It looks pretty good. Yeah. Looks like it's got a battle report here for it. Rules of engagement. The battle for Gore Pass. So this is Skaven versus I guess it would just be Empire troops. Anvil of Blood. Here's some more gosh, what do you call these? Data sheets, if you will. Queen's Audience. This is definitely a story. Realm of the Horned Rat. I can't wait to get to painting Skaven up. I'm even thinking about literally building a Skaven 40K army based off of Gene Stealer cults in the future, and or Imperial Guard as an Imperial Guard army. I'm not real big on the white, albino Skaven. I see where it brings more color to everything versus, all your Skaven being brown or dark in color. This is what I'm more into, if you will, this more pale skin tone, if you will. I like the warp stone they've got going on. It's pretty neat. Glory points. Dave Sanders. Dave is a senior games developer in the Box Games Studio and the lead rules writer for Warhammer Underworlds. So this is the guy that you blame. No, I'm kidding. Don't blame. Over the last few weeks, he's been recruiting the ultimate team of warriors to join him on an excursion into Beastgrave. Successful applicants need to bring their own weapons. Health insurance is optional but recommended. Hardy har har. The Heroes of Cursed City. What is this? 2, 4, 6, yeah, 8 different heroes. There's Captain Imelda Braskov. Sounds Russian. Gloria Van Alten III. Sounds German. Jelson Darak. No idea. Qualthus the Exile. Octrin Glimskry. Cleona Zeitengale, another German sounding name. Brutog Corpse Eater. And then Dagny Holdenstock. War on All Sides. This is Lord of the Rings stuff. In this issue, friend of the Middle Earth team and all-around Hobbit fan, Sam Jeffrey presents a way to play the Middle Earth strategy battle game with 3 players, including a new 3-player scenario. It's good versus evil versus good and or evil. Okay. Sounds like games that we used to play back in the day. Scenario: the Treasure Hoard. Graveyard of Legends. This is from the Black Library, so this is going to be a short story. Inside the studio, Hobby Bingo. In December, we introduced our White Dwarf Hobby Bingo resolutions. Here's how we're getting on. Let us know how you're doing. Well, let's try that out. Hero or character? Did I have to paint it? I don't know, but if I had to put it together, I've got that one. I don't know what any model is supposed to represent. That's on a lot of things. Fortification or scenery? Technically, yes. Unit of 2+ models? Pff, of course. Vehicle? Yes. Or monster. Kit bash model? Yes. Unit of 2+ models? Yes. Unit of 10+ models? Definitely yes. I don't know, man. Looks like we've got them all. What do we got here? We've got... This looks like Blood Bowl over here, and they've got some Plague or, Death Guard type deals. The hunt begins... I'm not sure what faction that is. New addition to the team. Jonathan's new baby daughters recently joined the White Dwarf team. It's crazy, man. Almost everybody that I watch, Midwinter Minis, eBay Rescues, all that kind of stuff, we've all had kids in the last month. And then here's this guy as well. It's like just in my face. The Shadow Crusade continues. Sell Swords of Excelsius. I'm sorry, Excelsis. Okay. And that's in the next issue. On sale 18 June. So yeah, I guess we'll be looking at what these guys are. Basically a Raven Guard type force. And that's it. Some pretty cool artwork here of this Vampire Lord or whatever this guy is on the back. But again, it's just unfortunate that my book got a little messed up here. I really like these skeletal warriors on the front though. That's really nice, along with the spirits, you know, flying around. But anyway, on another front, I want to tell you I was getting frustrated with Forge World. So I was missing some parts that I said in the previous video, I believe, previous build video when I was, you know, washing all the Catachan guys. At first, it seemed like I was getting the runaround. Okay, now they did state and say to me that they don't normally, they don't, you know, do any type of replacements or anything like that. And this wasn't my fault. Okay, now the argument could be made that yes, I did not, you know, have. I should have found this stuff out and reported it, you know, when I bought the models back in, I guess it was 2014 now. I believe July 8th was when it was all shipped, because it was a significant delay. Luckily, I still had the emails and stuff, which I did not have to send them, but I was able to pull up the tracking number, which they weren't able to use, and I was able to pull up the order number, which they were eventually able to use. I wasn't asking for much. I'm asking for 5 bases, and I know you guys are probably like, dude, we've watched you put them into bags. You've got tons of these things. You're right, I do, but that's not the point. When you pay well over $3,000 and upwards of $5,000 for all of this stuff, you know, you want what you paid for. The other thing is I'm missing 5 shoulder pads for my Krieg Death Corps on the right shoulder here, and you know, from an advancing squad. Well, I can't make those. I can't replace them. I mean, yes, I could make a mold, but it'll never come out right, as thin as those things are. Secondly, there are brass rods inside of the command squad base package for whatever reason. I think I got them right here. I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And so like this, yeah, okay. Let's see if we can make this work here with the light and everything. So if you guys see that brass rod right there, right? Well, I have 5 command squads. 4 of them came with these packages. One of those packages didn't have the rod. So I'm minus a whole package plus 2 rods as far as that's concerned. And that's really all I was asking for, was the 2 brass rods, the 5 bases, and then the 5 shoulder pads. Excuse me. So that being said, what I was getting frustrated about was I went at what I thought was out of my way to make sure to prove that this isn't, I'm just making stuff up. Not only did I take pictures of the actual, this part right here and everything, so they could track, what lot number, if you will, or batch number as it says, and all that, as well as I showed them the video, we put the link to the video as well when we did the unboxing for all of this. They came back and said that none of that works as proof. Needless to say, you can imagine how frustrated I was and how frustrating I was getting. But thankfully, I had the order number at least in an email, and if I'd have had to send them all the emails, they would even see there where I had my car broken into. What was it? A month or 2 maybe after my entire order came, and in that order I had like all these Forge World books that I had bought as well. Well, the bags were stolen. We were traveling, for vacation and stuff, and some of our bags had been stolen. Well, the books were in those bags, and so what I did was I sent them an email saying, hey, insurance is going to cover this. Is there, can you send me, because inside there also was the actual receipt for everything, because I was really proud of this order, if you will, and for waiting so long to finally get it. And in lieu of being able to put my models together, I was able to go back to that invoice sheet and just see what I had. Well, all of that was stolen together, you know, because it was in the suitcase or the bag. Well, I asked them in the email, you know, if they could send me an electronic, you know, invoice, whatever, and they said no, they don't do that because it's a manual thing. Well, if they'd have asked me for the invoice, I'd have had to send them an email and go, look, there's nothing I can do because you guys say that you don't do this electronically, which kind of blows my mind. But I mean, it is what it is, and they've said that they're gonna sort it out. But you know, again, they're saying this is a one-off deal. So my takeaway from this and my advice to you is, if you buy from Forge World, definitely open up and make sure you've got everything, you know, when you get it, whether you put it together or not, and understand that there may be some pushback. While I think it's poor business policy, those of us that have been around this hobby long enough obviously understand how Games Workshop works, and you know, it is what it is. I remember back in the day, Games Workshop being, the customer service being a lot better, especially when we were in Okinawa, Japan. We were having issues with the models that we were getting, the batches that we were getting. Literally, you'd open the box, you know, they're plastic models, of course, but you open a box and stuff's all melted, you know, and it's like, what? You know, and I mean, who knows where that stuff went to get to where we were, but you know, we'd give them the batch number, it was no big deal, and they'd send us a new box. So it was not that big a deal. Now I think that GW of old is long gone, you know, and it is what it is. So anyway, I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, especially all you guys out there on Instagram that I'm connecting with lately. I really appreciate the feedback. I'm loving what I'm seeing with you guys as well. So shout out to all of you guys, and we'll see you next time.